UFO sightings are continuing in the Holy Land. Recently, we heard from one of Israel's leading UFO researchers, Doron Rotem, about new sightings of a mysterious craft and contact with a large alien being in the small village of YATZITZ in central Israel. In this Holy Land, on this ancient soil, people with polar views struggle to coexist because this is the birthplace of three great world religions. And that is why, ufologists tell us, it is perhaps destined that alien visitors would choose this place as their Mecca too. During the spring of 1993, in Kadima, Israel, a small coastal town between Tel Aviv and Haifa, three women, unknown to each other, all reported similar alien visitations.
He was very tall. He was almost 3 meters tall.
He was a giant, very tall, with big eyes. His face was more oval-shaped. His eyes were shiny like a spotlight, glittering.
And all around, there were as if flickering lights, like that.
Before I could move, he disappeared.
Each of these encounters occurred on a Saturday, the Jewish Sabbath, and at the same exact time and in the same exact manner. And in each case, strange circles were left behind after the encounter.
The grass became, within a day, completely dry. It was before high as this grass all around, became completely dry, and eventually, after 2 or 3 days, lay down just like the way it's here.
Most recently, 2 years after the Kadima visits, the otherwise quiet town of YATZITZ is suddenly in a panic after village leader Herzl Ksantini reports a frightening encounter with an alien being. It is Friday evening at the beginning of the Jewish Sabbath.
I was visiting a friend whose name is Dani Ezra. I was at his place at around 8:30. About 9:30, something passed by the house that caused shaking. It rattled the windows and doors. I was curious to find out what happened, so I opened the door. I saw something very strange. I was very scared by it. As soon as my friend saw it, he fell down because he was so scared.
And they didn't try to follow it. What they do is lock themselves in the room and call the police.
Doron Rotem is a horticulturist by trade, but for 20 years, he has also been one of Israel's most respected UFO investigators. Rotem interviewed Herzl and Dani the morning after their encounter. He discovered that the men reported a creature very similar to that reported by the women of Kadima.
It's hard for me to describe its face because the face was projecting something. I don't know whether it was heat or blinding light, but I do remember that its face was glowing intensely. It had like 2 eyes, then something around the head that was blinding. It looked like a human being, 3 to 3.5 meters tall, perhaps 1.5 meters wide. I estimate its weight at half a ton.
In the field where the men claimed to have seen the creature, there was no crop circle, but a calling card of a different kind. Strange footprints, unlike any the two farmers had ever seen before.
I was scared, and I am not one to get scared at all. I was in the combat unit in the army. I was a driver in the Sinai Desert. But when I saw the footprints here, I got scared.
The tracks that were left behind by the strange being Herzl and Dani insist was here have confounded Israeli police and the professional tracker who was called in to analyze the prints.
The tracker was amazed to find an 8-kilometer trail to the nearest village. He says he never saw such tracks before, and he claimed that any animal on an 8-kilometer trail would leave at least some feces on the ground, which never was found.
By measuring the distance between the unidentifiable footprints, investigators have estimated its stride to be approximately 50 inches, more than twice the length of an average human stride.
It has a huge front track that stuck into the ground to 35 centimeters, and then after it stuck, a little feminine heel appeared in the back. It doesn't find on humans, it doesn't find on animals, so it indicates that there was something else over there.
Herzl Ksantini is a man who claims he has never believed in aliens or UFOs. But after his encounter, Herzl has had to re-examine his beliefs.
As of today, my curiosity is sparked, and I would be interested in taking a look at what it's all about. We were raising cows once, horses. We've seen everything. A thing like this, it's not a thing you see every day.
This is the plaster cast of one of the YATZITZ footprints. For now, it's all the UFO researchers have to go on, because since Herzl Ksantini's sighting, the creature has vanished.